Coming up next, I'm going to share 6 ways to promote a positive culture in a remote environment, and then how TikTok stars are defying the traditional career path. And we take your calls. It starts right now. All right, here we go. I'm coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios in Nashville, and you have joined a conversation about you, specifically who you are, your talent, what you do best, the work you love to do, and then the results that you want to accomplish in this world, the way you want to make a difference. That's the who you are. And then we look at what you were created to do, the type of work. What is that contribution zone, or as I call it, the sweet spot? And then where you can do all that. Yeah, how many different jobs or career paths are there that would allow you to be in the sweet spot? Turns out there are multiple. And then, maybe the most important, how do I get there? What's the clear path? We've got 7 stages to truly working like no one else, meaningful work you love, where you can make the money you need and the difference you want. 7 stages. Stage 1, get clear. Stage 2, get qualified. Stage 3, get connected. Stage 4, get started. Stage 5, get promoted. Stage 6, get the dream job. Stage 7, give yourself away. You're working like no one else at this point because it's all about impact. The income's there. Everything that success would be defined as is already there. Now it's all about significance, legacy, making that impact that we all desire to make. So, what stage are you in? What do you need to do to get the next stage? I'm your guide. Let's go. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Okay, this is fun. Going to open up today's show with a listener viewer request for some content. Sherry wrote in recently, I'd love to hear more on your show about how to promote a positive culture in a 100% remote environment. So I sat down and I thought through this. I did some research. I read about this, and it just came to me. There are 6 ways that you leaders, and if your leader doesn't listen to this show, you can forward this to them. But 6 ways that you or your leader can begin to promote and then create a healthy culture, a vibrant culture, even though you're separate because of the remote environment. Number 1 strategy, it's got to all be about communication. Every other one of these 6 strategies is built on communication, which is the first one. So if you want to improve and develop a healthy culture in a remote environment, it's got to be built on really good communication. And that's defined simply as clear and consistent. Clear communication and consistent. And it's very simple. People can feel left out. They can feel distant, but they can also feel very, very involved and completely in tune. Not distant. I'm in. I know what's going on. Why? Because clear communication and then consistent communication. Okay. Step 2, recognition. We know from HR data that men and women would rather be recognized or rewarded publicly than get a pay raise. What? Why? Because every man and woman in this world still is that little boy or girl who says, do you notice me? Do I matter? And so recognition is huge to having a great culture in a remote environment. 3rd step, interaction. I think a lot of leaders are missing this in a remote environment. Interaction. What does that look like? How about we get everybody on the Zoom and we play a board game? How about we do anything that's just fun? Hey, let's watch a show together and break it down. I was thinking through some of the ideas here, Joe. You could do any kind of interaction that you would normally do. So you could literally play a board game together if you wanted. You could do a fun kind of a house party game. You could, again, watch a show together and talk over it. You know, if there's a show that everybody in the team's kind of binge watch, but somebody hasn't, bring them into that. What are some of the things that you could do that are just straight up fun? Now, this is important because of that interaction piece. It's promoting positive, like, hey, we're doing things together, even though we're not in the same building. And I would add to this, even though you're 100% remote, there's nothing against you doing a monthly or a quarterly gathering where everybody does come together and they are in physical proximity. So that's interaction. The fourth action is collaboration. I put collaboration after interaction because if you can develop interaction and people like each other, then they got a better chance of trusting each other, and then it'll be easier to work together. If we play together, I've got a better chance of wanting to work with somebody that I may not have collaborated with before. So interaction leads to collaboration. 5, education. Really important for companies that are in any kind of environment, but certainly remote, that you're still offering your people opportunities to do some online training, getting better education, send them books. Everybody is in an educational opportunity. So again, you feel connected because your leaders giving you opportunities to learn. So education is really important. And then here's the last of the 6 steps. You've got to have separation. We have seen many, many articles and many, many news stories and data that all say that while work from home is something that a lot of people want, it has also created boundary problems. If I don't have a commute, I don't have a 45-minute commute, I can start work earlier. That's 90 minutes more that people are working per day because there's no commute. They're in front of that computer, so they end up working longer hours. I think it's really important on leaders that are running remote cultures to say, hey, we're going to do something interesting. We're going to shut down the email servers at certain time or get creative here. You communicate it very clearly. Don't work. Don't send emails after 6 o'clock. Have some boundaries. Come up with what that looks like individually for people. Talk with them, leaders. So, quick review. The 6 things that you can do to promote a positive culture, a healthy culture in a remote environment. 1, communication. 2, recognition. 3, interaction. 4, collaboration. 5, education. 6, separation. Go back. You can rewind here on YouTube and write them down and a little bit of teaching point that I made because that's really, really important. And you can suggest this up the ladder to your leadership because these 6 things, I believe, will allow you to have a positive culture even in a 100% remote environment. 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. Don't forget, coming up, a great story in the news about TikTok, and this is going to be applicable to any social media platform for some of you who just need to kind of try some things and get started. Also, I forgot to mention at the top of the program, we've got some more funny work fails. We're going visual today, so that's coming up as well. But let's get to the phones. Kelly is going to join us now in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kelly, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thank you so much for taking my call today.
You bet. What's going on?
Yeah, so a little bit of background here. I'm 26 years old. I'm a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated from pharmacy school in 2019, and then I pursued a 1-year residency program afterwards. So that was finishing up last June, sort of at the start of the pandemic. And my husband and I are on baby step number 2, so we were in a position where I needed a job.
Yeah.
With the residency, I was looking for something clinical where I could see patients prescribe medications, and I do have that in my current position. And I was forced to relocate states based on this current job.
Okay.
Within the past couple months, though, started to realize that this work environment that I'm in is very toxic.
Yeah.
About 50% of employees that were there when I had started have quit. So management and communication are some of my main concerns. And when I voice any concerns to management, I'm basically told to keep quiet. There have been some ethical concerns that I have had to report upward.
How are they treating those?
They're basically blowing those off as well.
Hey, I'm going somewhere with this. I don't want to get bogged down, but I want to know something here. When you say basically blow it off, basically tell me to keep it quiet. Can you be more specific? We're not naming names here. I want to know what they really said.
They said don't. So there was, I guess there was a situation where I needed to know an answer because it was affecting my day-to-day workload.
Yeah.
So I had sent a message to all of the supervisors and all of the personnel that this change would have affected. And I was told not to ask questions like that. You called somebody out in the group that shouldn't have been notified that you have a question about this.
Yeah. What does that tell you, Kelly? What's the conclusion that you walk away with when you hear that?
It's a terrible organization to work for that they don't care about.
Yeah. So, Kelly, I'm guessing you called me and you're going, let me guess what's going on. You're slightly confused because you've got really clear indicators that this is an awful place to work. And these are awful leaders who have zero ethics and even less backbone. But you're confused because this is what you want to do. It is technically, by outside definition and descriptors on a sheet of paper, it's your dream job. And you're confused because you're going, what do I do?
Right.
Okay,
exactly.
Good. All right. So this is simple. Number one, you need to trust yourself that you're right, they're wrong. And this is not a place that you can stay for very long. You can stay there until we replace it, which leads me to the next thing you need to believe. This is not the only place that you can do this work. We've got a fun little quiz that's free at kencoleman.com. It's called Should I Quit My Job quiz, and it's gone bananas. People love it. And it spits out one of 4 results. And I can just tell you that if you took it, you would get the report that says, I'm doing the right thing in the wrong place. Does that resonate with you?
Well, I actually did take it.
Oh.
I actually got wrong, but I know what I want to do. I love the seeing patient, the ability to prescribe. I am sort of in my sweet spot, but I think the organization has sort of made me not able to recognize that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so it colored your output. But the reality is you are doing the work you want to do. You're in your sweet spot. And so that's the point here, is that I get why it's confusing, and that's it. It's your heart and head are colliding. And your head's going, well, wait a second, this is the work you want to do. And your heart's going, I know, but I don't want to go in. This place makes me want to, jump into traffic. Okay?
Right.
So here's what we do. Here's the practical. We start looking. But we look with total clarity and confidence. You know that you basically want to be a clinical pharmacist. That's what you want to do.
Right.
So where are all the places, Kelly, that you can be a clinical pharmacist in Charlotte, North Carolina? And that becomes the list. Now, while you're searching and you are jumping back in and using my proximity principle, right, to get around other pharmacists and people that work with pharmacists.
Reading.
Good. Keep doing what I tell you. But what's going to be really important in the days and weeks ahead are that you change your emotions and your thinking. And now your emotions are, boy, I sure am grateful that I get to do what I love to do. Gosh, sure am grateful for where I've done it before in better environments, because this current environment's awful. But you know what? I'm grateful because this is giving me a paycheck that I need to get out of baby step 2. Gosh, I sure am grateful. Because some people can't get out of this situation. I can, and I'm going to. And I think that's what's going to allow you to just kind of walk in with a Teflon suit on, you know?
Yes, understood. And I guess as a follow-up, too, I just don't know. So I do have connections to jobs that aren't necessarily as clinical as this or aren't clinical. So I guess at what point do you use those connections to interview, possibly get a job not in your sweet spot to get out of an environment like this? It's, it started to affect my marriage and my mental health.
Then here's what I would tell you. That is a great question. And at what point you decide that point. There's no formula for me to give you that. I think you're at that point. Within about 6 to 8 weeks. I think you can hang in for 6 to 8 more weeks. It may be shorter than that. I'm just kind of giving you an arbitrary number for you to do some research and find some clinical opportunities. And you're going to find them probably within the next 48 hours. You'll be able to identify them, but there may not be a position that is open. So in the meantime, I'm fine with you moving out of the clinical pharmacist sweet spot role into we'll call it a day job role. Because the only piece is missing is really the passion and mission, but you got the talent to do it, and it gets you in a healthy environment. We breathe, we recover, we heal, Marriage feels better because you're not so daggum miserable.
Right.
And then we're still looking. We're still connecting. And it's not going to look bad on your resume if you hop a little bit on this, because this is not a job hopping. This is, look, I'm not going to throw this previous organization under the bus, but I'm all about a healthy culture. This is what I wanted to do. And so I made a move here. But see, the proximity principle removes all that ickiness where you don't have to do all that explaining. So yes, I am fine with you making what we will call, it looks like a step back, but it's really not. See, I think in this case, you're leaving a sweet spot job in a toxic environment to go to a day job that is positive environment. I look at that as a step forward.
Right. And I may even love that more than I thought I would. Like maybe
you might.
You
might, but here's what's important is that your heart heals and your marriage heals.
Yes, I agree.
So that to me is a step forward. And then we wait for the next opportunity, and then we step into that. I'm really proud of you. You got your head on straight. Your heart's going to heal quickly. Get your chin up and see the future. You keep your eye on the prize. Don't ever take your eye off the prize. Well, thank you. That's why I'm here. You got this, Kelly. All right. I love that. Boy, I got goosebumps head to toe. That's what we do here, folks. Somebody asked me the other day, Ken, what's your elevator pitch on what your show's about? And I knew where they were going, and I decided to be a little coy and mess with them a little bit. And I said, I'm in the heart business. They kind of looked at me. Huh? But that's what we're doing. I don't know if you all, as you were paying attention to that call, if you heard her heart from the time she started that call to the very end. This is a woman who's in a very toxic environment to the point it's affecting her health and her marriage. And she's giggling and bubbly at the end. Why? Because we were able to allow her heart to go, hey, it's okay. I can step out of this and I can keep moving forward and still do the work that God's put me on this planet to do. We're in the heart business. Why? Because that's how I start every show. You were created to fill a unique role. You were needed. You must do it. That's what our heart longs for. It's why we all ask the question, why am I here? What should I do with my life? That's not a head issue. That's a heart issue. And when you use what you do best, your talent, to perform work you love, your passion, to produce results that matter deeply to you, your mission, let me tell you what happens. Your heart is so full, even on the tough days and the long days. You go to bed and your heart is full. So when somebody tells you, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, that's a big bunch of hot, stinking garbage. If you do what you love, you'll work harder than you've ever worked. But the difference is, come Monday morning, you're recharged because you want to do this. You need to do this. Not because of income, but because of impact. 844-747-2577. Elsie's up next in Dallas, Texas. Elsie, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet, Elsie. What's up?
So I started in a new job with a new company last year, and the higher-ups are noticing that I'm doing like such a great job, and they want to promote me.
Yay! So way to go, Elsie. Joe, what do we do for Elsie? Yeah! She's doing so good that they want to promote her. See, folks?
I know.
That's the deal.
I'm so excited.
You should be.
So the deal is that she essentially wants me to write my own job description and wants me to, plan out like where I want to be growing and what I want to be doing for the company.
Awesome.
And right now, with any starter company, you have multiple roles. So I am trying to narrow down like these 5 roles that I have to bring it down to something a little bit more focused.
So fun.
And then,
let's go.
It is fun.
Let's go. You called me because you want me to help you write this. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, let's get after it right now. So what do we start with?
All right. So I want to get rid of like the office administration role. I know that for a fact. I'm in tech. I'm involved in tech software, in patient engagement, practice engagement, marketing. And I think I'm going to get rid of the marketing. So it comes between tech, patient, and practice. The other thing is the VP approached me, this just happened 2 days ago, about becoming almost a catch-all for the company, where I am the backup for 3 different like head positions and learning those main functions for those positions.
Great.
And
all right, but hold on.
Anything happens.
Okay, Elsie, but stop. We'll get to that in a second. See, what we have to do is we have to say, what do you want to do? They said, write your job description. So this is fun. Forget what they said. Forget everybody. You started by going, I know I don't want to do admin. So boom, gone, delete. What was the other thing that you said?
No was marketing.
No marketing, no admin. Great. What do you want to do? Give me the buckets.
Okay, so ideally, I want to open a nonprofit organization, whether it's managed by them when they're at that level, where I open it through them and manage it myself, or I do it on my own. My
No. Time out.
scenario,
Now I'm getting confused. Elsie, you're up for a promotion, and they're saying write your job description. Now you just took me to starting a nonprofit on your own, so I'm a little confused.
So let me explain that. So my nonprofit would involve the practice engagement, because I would make connections there and then use those connections to bring up that nonprofit. But it would also involve this catch-all role, because I would be essentially bringing up like new practices.
Okay, all right, Elsie, sorry, I'm interrupting because I'm no good to you if I'm not clear.
Okay.
Is it possible, or is this just some sort of dream pitch that you're gonna walk into them after they've come to you after 1 year and said, we want to promote you, come up with your own job description, and then your boss has kind of come back and said, I got this idea while you're kicking this job description around, I got this idea of you being a catch-all. Am I up to speed?
Yes.
Okay, now hold on. Hold on. I gotta take over here. So if that's where we stand now, are they going to look at you like a dog looks at a new person when they walk into a house if you pitch this idea of starting a nonprofit within their corporation?
Okay, let me re-explain. Sorry.
No, hold on.
I wouldn't pitch the nonprofit idea at this conversation.
Okay, well then I need to focus on this conversation then. Make sense?
Yes.
That's where I'm getting confused. So we got to focus on writing this job description. Am I right? Isn't that what you want from me? Or do you want me to help you on how to start the nonprofit? I'm here for you, but I'm getting conflicting messages.
I want you to help me with the job description.
All right, so let's stay there. So let's try to simplify, since we spent a good amount of time here. Is the catch-all position, does it check the boxes for you? Or does it have some admin and some marketing in it?
No, it checks a lot of the boxes for me.
So what's not in there? Let's focus on that. What's not in the catch-all position?
The practice engagement piece.
Perfect. So what we have to do is, the job description is going to be everything your leader came to you with as the catch-all plus practice engagement. Am I right?
Okay.
No.
Yes.
No. That's a yes or no. Am I right that that's what it needs to include?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So can I help you with any specific wording, or do we get you there? Because I want to make sure I get you there, because the good news is the catch-all is not marketing. It's not admin. It's just missing one thing, according to you. So that's what we put in there. We go, okay. And we literally describe the job, though. With a description, I'm looking at a paragraph. I am going to be doing these. I'm going to be responsible for these results. And the way I will accomplish these results is by doing these tasks. You see what I'm saying? It needs to be pretty plain spoken so that you're clear and they are clear.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it really does.
Okay, but I feel like there's still something there. So what do you? I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah. So the thing with the catch-all position, and this is off topic with the job description, it would be under a supervisor that is a little bit more a million miles per minute than under somebody else. And that is a bit like I can work really well with him, but working under him I feel could bring a lot of stress.
Okay, but that matters. I don't think that's unrelated. Here's the deal.
Okay.
I was trying to help you see if you like the catch-all position, which it sounds like you do. I just don't think you're wild about who you would report to. So you've got to weigh that. And I think you've already weighed it, and I think it's pretty heavy on you. So you gotta listen to that. So here's the deal. Write out, here's the formula. The job description is written with descriptive words that tells this story. These are the results that I want to accomplish or produce. And I will deliver those results through these activities, tasks, functions, role. Tracking with me?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I want to deliver these results with practitioner. I want to do this. I want to do this. And you describe what your day looks like, what your month looks like. And you got to be realistic. You say, but these are the things that give me energy. I want to remove these things over here that drain me. One of the exercises I like to give people just for a little self-inventory is to literally walk around with a pad and pencil or do it on your phone. And throughout a week, 5 days in 1 week, at a minimum, as you're going throughout your day, make note of this either drains me, or it gives me the juice. Does it drain me, or does it give me the juice, or is it like And begin to do that, and you need to do that as a part of this exercise. But that's all you need to do. You don't overthink this. What are the things you want to do? What are the things you want to remove? Very simple. And write it out. Write it out. All right. Quick break. When we come back, we're going to hit in the news segment, and we're going to do some really funny work fails. You don't want to miss this. We got a visual version today, and oh my gosh, this is going to be fun. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we're shielded through faith and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
All right, folks, welcome back. Coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville. This is the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you get clear so you can get qualified. We help you get connected so you can get started. We help you get promoted so you can get the dream job to then be able to give yourself away and truly work with meaning and significance and work like no one else. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. You can get us live here on YouTube every Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern Standard Time. And then we go right into our syndicated radio and XM show, Sirius XM. So if you want to call the show, you got a 2-hour window. Let's just call it 12 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. I almost went into the Ramsey show number because I'm hosting that today. Got the 5-hour assignment today, folks. 2 hours on the Ken Coleman Show. Then I go over, quick shot of water, and boom, hosting 3 hours of the Ramsey show. So I'm already in that mindset. I about gave out the Ramsey show number. The Ken Coleman show number is 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. All right, it's time to give you breaking informative information. We call it In the News. This story comes from the LA Times. Rewind to March of last year. Pandemic beginning to really set in on everybody, and stuff is shutting down. 28-year-old line cook Brandon Skier was a Los Angeles restaurant cook, and he lost his job after several unprofitable weeks under the LA County shutdown. He spent the first 2 months hunting for work. He said, all the restaurants that I would have applied to were closing. I was just bored. I missed being productive. I wanted to work with my hands and create stuff. I wanted to keep cooking. So I went on TikTok and I said, hey, if I cook, if I post a video, would anyone want to watch? 1 year later, Skier, listen to this, has more than 1 million TikTok followers. I mean, that's incredible. And he's got brand endorsement deals with Headley and Bennett aprons and Made in Cookware. He's heavily tattooed. He's a hoodie-wearing cook. He's under the handle @sad_puppy, P-A-P-I. And he shows viewers how to operate like a professional cook at home, whether he's making a banana cream pie or properly caring for carbon steel pans. How about one more? Tway Nagin was finishing culinary classes and planning to work at a restaurant or open up a food truck, and then the coronavirus hit. One morning in March, she woke up, started cooking for her family as usual, only this time, you guessed it, she decided to film it and post it on TikTok. One of her first cooking TikToks, a 30-second clip of her making fried rice with lap chong in a t-shirt and a messy bun. What is messy bun? Is that the old... Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. True story. I need a 46, almost 47-year-old man. When I first read that, I went, is that like a sticky bun? Like as in a cinnamon bun? That's what I thought when I read it. And then it just occurred to me. She wasn't looking all pretty and amazing. She just filmed herself making some fried rice. 7 million views. For Nagin, she has since hired a business manager, started a recipe newsletter, and has begun designing merchandise online. Now, the reason I share that is it's not just kind of wild and a great story. I don't know how many callers we have here on the show where they want to begin to step out, put their toes in the water, if you will. And they get all up in their head, how much money and capital do I need? And I'll say over and over again, and these two stories illustrate the point. You might just need a cell phone and some courage, right? Film it and post it. These two people, folks, are making a living doing what they love on TikTok because they had a cell phone and courage. There's no massive marketing plan or capital investment. Now, here's what I don't want you to hear. That you're a cell phone and a TikTok post away from living the dream. However, there are a lot of people in this world, and a lot of people like what you like. Think about that. Now, there's a lot of people who don't like what you like. These two examples happen to be kind of cooking how-tos, and so it's intriguing. A lot of young people on TikTok, so they don't have that life skill of knowing how to make fried rice. So it's intriguing. She's probably compelling. But here's the point. I tell this to people who want to be authors or speakers or writers. If you're not going to do novels like that, but you want to write for certain type of publication, write about, speak about, teach about things that you love. Now, if I decided to start a TikTok channel today about polka music, Joe, it's not going to work.
Probably not.
Because I don't know anything about polka music. And the reason I don't know anything about polka music is because I don't like it.
You could fake it.
No, I disagree. And I'm glad you said that, Joe. Because here's what happens. If I fake that I like polka music and I go buy a couple polka books and I take some polka classes and I watch some polka YouTube videos, I'm not going to stay with it. And the reason I'm not going to stay with it and keep posting and keep learning and keep posting and keep learning is because I don't like it. It's not as simple as opening up Instagram page and starting to post stuff. You got to be passionate about it. So I teach what I teach. Are you good at it? Do you have the talent? These people could cook. They know how to cook. Do you love cooking? They love it. Does it produce a result that matters deeply to you? Makes good food, which makes people's bellies happy. It's creative. That's mission. Talent, passion, mission. That's why I teach this. You use your talent to perform your passion to accomplish your mission. If that's the case, then eventually your social media stuff will work. And it could, in fact, take off. But it must be something that you are good at, you love, and care deeply about producing that result. So there you go. Great stuff. All right, are we ready for work fails? We're just going to roll right into this. This is fantastic. I must apologize. We've got a studio audience out here today, and they can't see this. But for those of you watching on YouTube, this is how you know. We have some visual examples of how you know you might not be in your sweet spot. Let's go with the first one, Nathan. This has to be, what would you call this, Madison? This is probably somebody at the TV station that's a lower thirds producer. Nathan, I mean, is that who this would be, this person?
Yeah, it's like the Nathan of the TV station.
It's like the Nathan of the TV station. And so there it is. Let's put that on the screen. We've got ourselves a live hit, and they've got a live interview, and the lower third just says, name here, and the big bold, and then name here under the subtitle. So somebody mailed this one in. I mean, can you imagine? Yeah, I can't make that happen. It's not happening. I'm just going to go with name here, name here. I'm not even going to try. All right, the next photo. I want to know how many people have actually done this. Look at this gal. She's full on laying on top of her desk. She's got one of these L-shaped desks here, and she's facing the wall. It looks like a cube. She's gone. She's out of it. She's laying on her side, completely asleep, keyboard, computer right next to her. That you're not in your sweet spot when you are taking a nap. Not like in your car at lunch. She's in the cube. She's given up. Does not care. This next one is fabulous. I'm not sure what's going on with the two ladies leaning over this one woman's cube here. They don't seem to be very engaged either. Oh, wait a second. I figured it out. This is a customer service kiosk. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little slow on the draw. Probably should look at my notes. Here we are is basically the equivalent of a doctor's office check-in window or the DMV. And two ladies are there, and there is a lady that is serving them sitting down, and she's not even looking at anything remotely to them. She's playing solitaire.
And look how long the line is behind her.
Huge line of people that don't want to be there, but they have to be there, and it's already miserable, and this woman's playing solitaire. I'll get to you guys in a minute.
She's the poster child for not being in her sweet spot.
I think that's a great point. Boy, this is great. This next image says it all. Some genius or somebody who just doesn't care, it's probably the latter, has stacked a ton of boxes on top of each other, and each box says, "Do not stack!" Okay. See, I don't know if this is a talent issue or a passion issue. I'm going to say passion. It's possible, though, that it's a talent issue. They didn't even look. They don't even know how to read directions. Do not stack, and you stack. Now, I do want to, you know what? I do feel the need to confess something as a husband. Okay? Been married almost 23 years. This could be something. It feels like something Stacy might tell me not to do. Nathan, you're laughing. Joe, you're laughing. The husbands are laughing. This could be a situation where my wife is like, listen, don't stack these boxes on each other. I've got some really, sensitive things in here. What do you call them? Fragile. And I'm like, let me look inside of this thing. Whatever. I can stack these. I think maybe that's what's going on here. This is willful disobedience. Come on, Joe. You ever done that?
Yeah.
Debbie tell you not to do it, and you're going, well, okay, thanks, sweetheart.
Yeah, it's happened.
Because in that suggestion, we're taking their command as a suggestion. Am I right, Nathan? You're like, well, I appreciate the suggestion, but it's going to be okay. This might be my all-time favorite here. This is a person whose job is to do one thing, to paint road lines. And they see a car parked up against the curb, up against their cones, and they don't love what they do. They hate this job. So they went, I'm going to teach this moron a lesson, because this is straight up property damage. This is a fine, maybe a misdemeanor, to paint road lines on a nice SUV. So there you go.
I do love that they left the headlight clear, though. They paused for the headlight.
You know why? I don't think you can paint the headlight. I think I'm looking at that. I'm going, fantastic. And you know what else? That calls for a single line there, and they went double line just to cause more damage. Because if you think about that, I can see a single line next to curbs. We see that everywhere. They went double line, Joe, for maximum damage.
This guy, his sweet spot could be, putting pinstripes on cars.
It might be.
Yeah.
All right, how about this billboard here? Yikes. I think we got the body parts mixed up there. I believe her head's supposed to be on the left and the torso and legs on the right, but they just went ahead and threw that up there, and I love that they left it. Because it was left there long enough for somebody else to take a picture, unless the person themselves thought, well, this is kind of funny.
She's a pretty complicated lady.
Yeah, she is. And here's the best one right here. It's the best for last. Some subway worker was told to go out and put something on the marquee, and so they did. My boss told me to put something on the sign, so I'm going to go with that. That is a sign, literally, that you are not in your sweet spot. Wow. Fun stuff. All right, folks, before I let you go, know that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.